Have you ever wondered about the challenges faced by conventional agriculture and the urgent need for sustainable solutions? As our global population continues to grow, so does our need for food. This demand pushes us to squeeze every ounce of yield from our lands. Traditional or conventional agriculture has been our go-to method, focusing on high yields through high inputs like synthetic fertilizers and pesticides. But this method comes with a cost: environmental degradation, loss of biodiversity, soil erosion, and water pollution. The ticking time bomb of climate change further stresses our food systems. It's clear that we need to transition to more sustainable methods of farming, methods that are kind to our planet while also meeting our food needs. As we delve into this journey, we start from the very beginning: conventional agriculture. Conventional agriculture, a system that has been practiced for decades, has its roots deeply embedded in our history. Born out of a need to maximize crop yield and efficiency, conventional agriculture has played a pivotal role in meeting our ever-increasing food demands. This system, characterized by high-input, monoculture farming practices, has been the backbone of our food production for years. It relies heavily on synthetic inputs like fertilizers and pesticides, seeking to take advantage of every inch of arable land to produce as much food as possible. But while it's been successful in achieving its purpose, it has not come without its share of drawbacks. Compared to sustainable agricultural practices, conventional agriculture often has a larger environmental footprint. It's associated with environmental degradation, including soil erosion, water pollution, and loss of biodiversity, largely due to its reliance on synthetic inputs and lack of crop diversity. Despite these challenges, conventional agriculture has paved the way for advancements in farming technology and practices. It has set the stage for a global conversation about the need for sustainable solutions in agriculture, leading to the development of alternative systems like organic, regenerative, and climate-smart agriculture. But as we progressed, a need for an alternative was felt, giving rise to organic agriculture. Organic agriculture, a step away from the conventional, took a more natural approach. This system's early origins trace back to the early 20th century with pioneers like Sir Albert Howard, who observed the traditional farming methods in India and brought those lessons back to the Western world. Organic agriculture can be defined as a system that relies more on ecosystem management rather than external, often synthetic, agricultural inputs. The purpose of this system isn't just about growing crops. It's about doing so in a way that promotes environmental health and social impacts. It's about making choices that are good for the earth and good for us. The highlights of organic agriculture shine a spotlight on soil health, biodiversity, and natural pest control. Instead of relying heavily on synthetic fertilizers and pesticides, organic farming makes use of compost, green manure, and biological pest control. It values the health of the soil, recognizing that healthy soil is the foundation of a healthy farm, leading to healthy food. Organic farming also promotes biodiversity. Instead of vast fields of a single crop, organic farms often incorporate a variety of plants, which can help to control pests and diseases naturally. And speaking of pests, organic farming takes a more balanced view. Instead of trying to eradicate all pests, which can have negative side effects, organic farming aims to manage pests in a way that maintains a balance with the ecosystem. Now, how does organic agriculture differ from conventional farming? Well, the most obvious difference is the reduced reliance on synthetic inputs. While conventional farming often leans heavily on synthetic fertilizers and pesticides, organic farming seeks to minimize or eliminate the use of these inputs. Yet organic farming isn't without its challenges. Ensuring food security can be more difficult with organic methods, as yields can sometimes be lower than with conventional farming. This is a significant consideration, especially as we look to the future and the need to feed a growing global population. But regardless of these challenges, the organic approach has pushed us to think differently about how we farm. It has reminded us of the importance of working with nature rather than against it. It has shown us that we can grow our food without depleting our planet. Yet, the need for further sustainability and restoration brought us to regenerative agriculture. Regenerative agriculture, a system that not only sustains but restores, came into the picture. Conceived as an antidote to the environmental damage caused by conventional farming, regenerative agriculture has its roots in the mid-20th century. It was a time when scientists and farmers began questioning the long-term viability of high-input monoculture farming. So, what exactly is regenerative agriculture? It is a farming system that goes beyond sustainability. It aims to actively improve the health and vitality of the land, rather than simply maintaining it. The focus is on nurturing and restoring soil health, protecting the climate, and enhancing farm productivity. The purpose of regenerative agriculture is manifold. It seeks to reduce dependence on water and external inputs, prevent land degradation, and improve soil, biodiversity, and climate resilience. In essence, it's all about giving back to the land more than we take from it. There are several key practices associated with regenerative agriculture. Minimal soil disturbance is one of the cornerstones, as it helps preserve the soil structure and fosters the growth of beneficial organisms. Cover cropping, or growing plants to protect and enrich the soil, is another. Integrated pest management, which uses a combination of biological, cultural, physical, and chemical methods to control pests, is yet another important aspect. When we compare regenerative agriculture to other farming systems, its unique focus on soil health and ecosystem restoration stands out. Organic agriculture, for instance, also aims to minimize the use of synthetic inputs, but it may not necessarily prioritize soil regeneration and ecosystem restoration to the same degree. Regenerative agriculture is not just about farming practices, though. It's also about a mindset shift. It's about seeing the farm as a living, breathing ecosystem rather than a machine to be controlled and manipulated. It's about working with nature rather than against it. Adopting regenerative agriculture can have profound implications for our planet. By enhancing soil health and biodiversity, it can help mitigate climate change and promote resilience. By reducing the need for external inputs, it can make farming more economically sustainable. And by producing nutrient-rich food, it can contribute to better human health. But it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. The specific practices need to be tailored to the local context, taking into account factors like climate, soil type, and the needs of local communities. With the advent of climate change, agriculture needed to adapt, and thus climate-smart agriculture was born. Climate-smart agriculture, a system tailored to fight climate change, is our most recent development. Climate-smart agriculture, or CSA, came into existence to counter the challenges posed by climate change and to infuse the much-needed adaptability into our agricultural systems. The world needed a solution, a system that could stand tall against the unforgiving and unpredictable changes in our climate. And thus, CSA was born. CSA is more than just a system. It's a transformative approach that aims to revolutionize the agri-food sector. It encourages the transition towards green and climate-resilient practices. Unlike conventional farming, CSA does not solely rely on maximizing productivity. Instead, it strikes a balance between increasing productivity, adapting to climate change, and reducing greenhouse gas emissions. The highlights of CSA are many and varied. The system is tailored to cater to specific agroecological conditions and socioeconomic contexts. It recognizes that every region is different and requires a unique approach. CSA's primary focus is climate resilience, but it doesn't stop there. It also aims to improve farmers' livelihoods, reduce poverty, and ensure food security, all while respecting the boundaries of our ecosystem. Now, let's talk about how CSA differs from other agricultural systems. While organic and regenerative agriculture focus on soil health, biodiversity, and sustainable farming practices, CSA's primary focus is on climate change adaptation and mitigation. It's not that the other systems don't consider these aspects, but CSA specifically addresses them as a priority. CSA also leverages innovative technologies and practices to make farming more climate resilient. These include weather forecasting, climate-smart seed varieties, efficient water management, and carbon sequestration techniques. These practices not only help in adapting to changing climate conditions, but also contribute to mitigating the effects of climate change. But as with any system, CSA also has its challenges. These include the need for significant investment, the lack of knowledge and skills among farmers, and the need for supportive policies and institutional frameworks. However, the potential benefits of CSA in terms of climate resilience, food security, and sustainable development far outweigh these challenges. Each system has its strengths and weaknesses, and the choice depends on various factors. As we move forward, it becomes increasingly crucial that we choose the right agricultural system, one that not only nourishes us, but also respects and nurtures the very planet that sustains us. For many, climate-smart agriculture could be that choice. The evolution from conventional to sustainable practices has been a journey of learning and adapting. We've seen how agriculture has grown and changed over the years, starting from the high-input, efficiency-focused conventional farming practices. These methods, while productive, often had a significant environmental footprint. The quest for greener, more sustainable solutions led to the development of organic agriculture in the early 20th century. With its focus on ecosystem management and elimination of synthetic inputs, organic farming presented a more earth-friendly approach. However, the limitations of organic farming, particularly in ensuring food security, necessitated further evolution. This led to the birth of regenerative agriculture, a system designed to nurture and restore soil health, protect the climate, and enhance farm productivity. Unlike its predecessors, regenerative agriculture focuses intensely on soil health and ecosystem restoration. Yet, the escalating challenges of climate change called for more targeted solutions, leading to the development of climate-smart agriculture. This approach transformed agri-food systems towards green, climate-resilient practices, tailored to specific agroecological conditions and socio-economic contexts. It addresses climate change adaptation and mitigation head-on. Collectively, these systems symbolize our continued efforts to balance productivity with environmental responsibility. They underscore the importance of choosing the right agricultural system based on regional conditions, food security needs, and climate challenges. Every region, every climate, every soil type might call for a different approach, a different balance of practices. But one thing remains constant: the need for sustainability. The health of our planet, the security of our food sources, and the stability of our climate are all closely intertwined with our agricultural practices. It's not just about growing food, it's about growing food in a way that also grows and sustains our planet. The journey from conventional to sustainable practices in agriculture is a testament to our capacity for innovation, adaptation, and resilience. It's a story of learning from our past, adapting to our present, and preparing for our future. The future of our planet and its inhabitants depends on our choices today. Support sustainable agriculture for a better tomorrow.